So in my point of view, the consciousness is the primal healing force in our body, and everything else follows the consciousness we are able to attain. Of course, there are different levels of consciousness we can vibrate on, or we can call it emotional states, or level of energy we are on. And of course, everyone can feel that there is different way we go through our life, depending on the consciousness or the emotion we are actually vibrating on at the moment. So if you're experiencing anger, of course, there is anger everywhere around you. That is the magnetism of the energy. If you're vibrating fear, you attract fear. And this is the way we can actually adjust our functioning, our energy levels, and our experiences in this world. And as we vibrate on some specific energetic level, that's also the way we influence our body, our organs, and depending on this situation, the body is then producing hormones and sending information, sending neurotransmitters, neural electric signals into the whole body accordingly. So from the traditional Chinese medicine, we know that different organs are reacting to different emotions or different types of energies. So for example, our liver is susceptible, it reacts when there is the emotion of anger. If there is emotion of fear, our kidneys are involved. If there is energy of worries or overthinking, then the complex of spleen and pancreas is the major player then. And if there is sadness, if we are sad, then our lungs are involved. And also from the Chinese perspective, when we think about, or when we talk about the joy, about happiness, then our heart is the organ. There is this kind of ladder we can be climbing, and where we can actually we can increase the energy or the vibration we are attracting in our life. And that's the decision. That's decision. If, of course, if you are not, if you listen to this or if you look at this video there, and I'm sure you're not in the state of apathy or whatever is the lowest energies. But from some level, you start to realize that you are responsible for the state of your being, that you are responsible for the energy you emit, and you are also accepting, or you are being bathed in. So from the lowest levels, you you climb the ladder, you grow your self-awareness, you grow your mindfulness, and when you are in levels, as Hawking says, which are higher than 200, then you're already found some courage to look in yourself, to look at the way how you behave, how you create your world, and that is the way how you create your health. Because when you move through the energy, through the emotions, which are of a lower level, of lower energy, they are creating the suffering, they're creating the disease. Because as we know, there are different parts of our being, right? There is our mind, our soul, our body, if we think about it as Trinity in our being, and then it splits more and more, and of course there are emotional aspects, there are physical aspects, there are mental aspects, there are aspects of wisdom or intelligence, of a spirit, of the spiritual connection to the realm behind the veil. And all those aspects are influencing our being, and somewhere in the middle, or pervading all the aspects, is our whole being. There is the indivisible being us, but being everything, and at the same moment being the extension of God. So, in my opinion, this is the way how we can start balancing our health. We don't really have to go in a problem. We don't really have to go in the disease, because when we go there, we are there. We are in a problem. We want to go in a health, back in the balanced state of harmony of all parts. And from there we can let the wholeness spread through all the layers, through all the aspects of our body, and to create the desired health. That's, in my opinion, the way where we should start. We should start from untouched realization of our true being, of our divine self, and from there we should just spread the light. And so to get to the point, to get to the center of this being, we should be able to release everything what is not it, what is not truth, what is moving us from the pure being. The pure being is a state of silence, of silence and presence, where you don't need anything more, you don't need anything, you just are. But you can only go there when you realize what is hindering you to get there. You have to be able, we have to be able to look at ourselves kind of from above, or from somewhere, some observing point, to see what is happening in us, what is happening in our mental realm, what is happening in our feelings, in our emotional realm, and so on. What do we feel in our body? Yeah, that are the most important for us. It's quite difficult to figure out what's happening in our etheric body, or that I don't understand those terms really, and I don't know how to relate to them. So I can only relate to what I feel myself when I look at myself, when I look in my being here. Then I know what I feel, what are my emotions, but I don't know every time. But we can look at this. We want to go in this state of pure being, but there is something what interferes. And what is it? What do you feel? What is the doesn't allow you to go in the silence? Silence is the pure peace in your mind and in your body. If there's something what goes on in your mind, what makes you talk to yourself, then imagine your brain. Imagine you're inside your brain, and you focus right in the middle, most inner part of your brain, the middle as you can imagine. Be there. Use your breath. Your breath, the air coming through your nostrils, and it goes directly through the lamina cribriformis, through the neural endings of your olfactory nerve. The air, the energy, or the molecules of the air, of oxygen, goes through there, right in your brain. So you can feel with every in-breath how how the air, how the molecules, how the energy goes directly to your olfactory bulbs, to the ceiling of your nose, and just above there are two bulbi in which are lying on the base of your skull. It sticks to the lower part of your brain. This is the way how we feel, how we smell. We smell that the air, the molecules of the scents are directly touching those neural endings and go right in your brain. So the energy comes right in, and you imagine, you feel your breath going right in the middle. Follow your breath. Stay with it. This is the easiest way how to stop your self-talk, your narratives, which are going there and back on the side, from one side to another. And you want to stay in the middle. If it is difficult for you to do it just through your awareness, you can use specific technique, breathing technique, which is called alternating sides breath work. And it means you breathe in through your one nostril, you close the second one, you breathe in, then you close the second one, you breathe out, breathe in again, switch, breathe out, breathe in, and you do the closing with your thumb and your middle finger. If you do this repeatedly, you focus on this exercise. It's very powerful to stop your thinking, to stop your self-talk, and the alternation, it balances your both halves of your body and of the brain as well. So it's quite important to have balanced both hemispheres, because it's easy to have your left brain, your left hemisphere firing like hell, and your right hemisphere is just not doing much. Of course, there is difference. There are two hemispheres for a reason. They both have different functions in our body, in our system, in our analytics, in our creativity. You know about this, but in my opinion, it's good to balance this. And this alternating breathing, it's very useful for them. So once you learn your mind to be still and silent, you diminish your self-talk. Then you don't stop being, like the biggest lie in our life is in the history of this planet is that Descartes, who said, I don't know how it's in English, but the meaning is that I think, so I am. That's the worst untruth that you can even imagine. There is you are all the time, and especially if you don't think, you really start being, so truly being. So that this is like the biggest nonsense I've ever heard. So anyways, you go for the state of no mind, you go for pure being, not alternated with any narrative. And from here you can observe what's happening in you. Do you feel tension? Do you feel, I don't know, do you feel maybe you are already able to call your emotion? You feel you're angry or you're sad, or maybe you just don't know. Maybe it's difficult for you to breathe. Maybe it's a pain in your back or wherever, or you're just not feeling good. You don't like the state you are in. And it depends. You have different possibilities what to do with this situation, and it's the same as when you have this progressive and direct path to enlightenment, and they're kind of complementary, but I'm not sure if the progressive really takes you to the destination. You need the direct connection, and then in my opinion, it's easier way to have the direct connection to the destination, even though you don't know really what it is, but you connect with the state of no mind, of wholeness, of Zen. And you keep this inside you, and you can proceed with your healing, with curing the imbalances, with balancing your emotional states, your biochemical, biophysical state in the body, your mechanical states, the functioning of the whole body. It can happen step by step, but I think to start with the conscious awareness of our our true being, of us being light, being love, being God, gods. I think it's truly helpful to start from there, even though if you don't know how, if we don't know how to do it, it can look quite challenging, but actually it's only the realization we are already dead. We are love. And we can use the love to heal us. It's the setting which is already here. It's the way the world is created, and we should learn how to use it. That's what our great teachers were saying all the time, that we have the kingdom of heaven inside us, that we are the gods. So if you connect with this idea, with this recognition that you are unlimited being, what actually happens in you when you accept this, then you don't really demand, or you don't require anything. You even don't require the healing. You accept that there is some higher orchestration of this world, and there is some reason why you have the problem you have, why you have the disease, the pain. And also this acceptance of anything that is something what makes you calm and relaxed, and somehow paradoxically the acceptance of being ill, of maybe not being supposed to heal, is actually the gate which opens then to the healing. It's the gateless gate. The acceptance of no self-importance brings you to the point where you accept yourself as a channel for something bigger. And it doesn't really come. But what comes is the realization that you can take the steps to heal. You have the full potential to do so. And you don't know if it's gonna work or not. But you know that there is incredible support coming to you when you decide for it. And there is incredible power of your inner healing force, of your innate healing power inside, the the force of regeneration, the the power of your DNA, where the whole process of creation is written and can be united for recreation again anytime. But it cannot be done from the state of fear the of the mind which doesn't believe that, because and if you follow the mind, then hard to say what's gonna happen. We know nothing, and but we feel everything. We feel what feels good and what doesn't, and that's our intuition. The intuition is like the most complex evaluating system in our body. It takes all the information which are in the field, and we don't have the capacity that our mind, that our analytical brain to comprehend it. But the intuition is something which goes deeper, goes in our lower brains, connects with our energetic system, with our memory system, with our behavioral learned programming and stuff like that. So the intuition is far more developed function than our critical mind. And so we don't know anything, and we cannot say that this is gonna work, that is not gonna work, and we are only able to walk the path which feels right, which feels to us. And so that is what we in my point of view, that's what we should do. We should trust ourselves, our heart, our intuition leading us. And if you decide for the healing, to try the healing, even though you don't know if it's gonna work, even though you don't know if you are supposed to get healed, you can only trust that this is the way it's supposed to be. And if there is the great intelligence behind the creation of this world, which allows everything to happen, then why wouldn't you be allowed to heal if you decide? It's only you don't know the end point, you don't know the destination, but you know that that's the learning, that's the school we are here for. And for me, I think healing ourselves healing any disease, any illness, any pain we have is probably one of the most important tasks, or if not the most important task for us here to accomplish. If there is something what to do, then keep healthy, take care of your relationships, do something fulfilling and joyful. But that's all one complex. We cannot heal if we spend most of our time doing what we hate, and we cannot heal if we are angry with someone or with ourselves. Just that is not the environment where the body can heal. If you're in if you realize your system as one complex, then you should think about what you do to yourself. And if you feel sadness, if you feel worry, if you feel fear, realize who does feel it. You, your mind, your ego, your narratives. We go back to the state of no mind, of being in the middle of your brain, in the silence. Or even better, if you go deeper, if you go down in your body, in your heart, and you keep the silence. Then you still are, you don't feel the emotion if you are in this state. Because you are not the ego, you are not the suffering mind. And if you let grow this feeling, then you create a space inside you which allows the hormones of healing, of a good feeling of joy flowing through your blood. And that's the way how the higher energy, how the higher vibration overcomes the lower one. My wife, when I got to know her, like the first thing which just grabbed my attention was her tattoo which said omnia vincit amor, which means like the love overcomes everything. And that's the highest truth, the love, the God, the creative force is so strong that you if you trust it, if you go for it, then nothing else can stay. No lower vibrational states can endure it. And that's why when you keep this setting, you learn to go for it, to stay in that state. Then you override your imbalances, and it falls away. Cannot say if it falls away so much that you'll cure from every single disease you have. But I can promise you're gonna feel better. And probably you will heal slowly from your troubles, from your imbalances. And if you don't focus on the imbalances, on the diseases, but on the health, then you create the health. What you support grows. If you sit in a pub and talk the whole night about war and disasters and killings, and well, how do you feel? It doesn't mean that you should think it doesn't exist. But it means that what you support, you make it real for your life, for your body. And if you pour in your body incredible amounts of fear, if you open to the anger that there is someone who does something to someone else, and you feel this, you feel the fear, you feel the sadness for the others, and it doesn't mean to don't feel compassion with those one who suffer, but you should take control over your feelings. There is some difference of feeling and emotion, in my opinion, and you can feel stuff, but the negative emotion which comes from the programs of our mind, that is something what doesn't really have to be that important in our experiencing. And I think the identification with the suffering, emotional ego doesn't help us that much. So I wanted to say that if we keep focusing on the higher levels, on the higher vibrational states, then that's what we attract to our life. That's what we create and what we share with the world. And of course, the magnetism of this frequency, or the resonance of the frequency, means that what we consciously support, that is what we live, what we attract from our surroundings. So if we have this exercise, let's call it exercise, because it is the way we learn to do things, that we try, and we keep doing it until it actually gets under our skin. And it's difficult. It's not our nature to do something what we don't know, what we haven't heard before, or no one really told us that is the way we should behave. We just live from our subconscious. So there is the process of learning the vibrational frequency, the learning how to vibrate on higher frequency. And the first thing is to realize that I experience this tension or contraction, this bad feeling. I feel there is hatred in me. I feel I judge that one. I feel I just can't stand his opinion, or stuff like that. That, none of that helps us and keeps us in a lower states and keeps us in our disease. So first of all, learn to master your mind, to master your narrative, and stop it. Just stop it. When you think something about someone, about you, or something what is not nice, what is not kind, stop it. That is the first thing. Every emotion which is not mastered, like the lower emotion, has kind of, in a dual sense, has its opposite, has its yin yang alternative. So if there is anger, you can grow. You can grow your kindness. Yes. And if you're worried, if you think too much, you can grow your peace, and you focus on that specific experiences, and you let it be your nature. You try, you fail. Next time you try again, you fail again. Next time you manage a little bit, or you fail again, but you realize sooner and you switch. And after many times, after many tries, you you'll just learn the new skill, which is compassion, kindness, peace, helpfulness, gratitude, courage. Wow. So just check it out. Check what's the pyramid of vibrational frequencies. What is the scale, and just decide to go to the higher states. That's that's something what really change your world, change your your living, your experiencing, and your behaving, your shining in the in the world. So I highly recommend start with this. Check the the consciousness pyramid, or the levels of consciousness. Um, yeah,